Hello again. Thought I would make another video. Seems I need to explain a little bit better. I noticed that when I tried to slice the previous model in the previous video where I explained about painting supports, it still made supports of the non-painted areas on the threads, even though logically it shouldn't do that. So I am going to show how I solve that. I do the same as before. I select this overhang and I just start by painting the main one. Actually, you should always start by eliminating all paint jobs. So I increase the overhang to 90 and I leave it on fill and overhangs only there. So now I have basically painted most of the model to block supports, which is what I want. Okay, so here I have now everything is blocking support, and then I go down and then I select one, and the reason I want to block it is because you don't want to have it's easier to paint supports than it is to block supports when some of the models are sort of together. So now I have this field here. I'm gonna paint support there. It becomes brown. I'm just gonna do the letters too. There. And once I have done the letters, I will do the edge around that I don't want to support. Or actually, I want it supported, but I want to have fetchy for it. There. So now all the letters will have support, and then I increase it further by extending this to the boundaries here, and then I go and select circle instead. You can see I have a circle, and I'll increase the pen size a bit, and I leave it on overhang here, and I don't want that. Nope. There. So what you saw now was that if I over select, like if I go to 90 here and try to paint, it will smear. So I don't go all the way up, I just leave it at like 89, and when I then paint, it will not overpaint. There, starting to get there. There, so that looks nice. Okay, so I'll drag the thingy down, all the way down, and then I'll focus in on the first thread I want to paint. Will be this one, and I'll just move the so it's just marking it there. Now you can see it just starts to mark it, and I'll just I'll paint it manually. I could probably use fill, but I don't want to do that, so I'll just paint it manually. Now I have painted all of those. And what about the rest? The gray ones here is what actually cause problems for me. What you can do is here you can go in and you can use what is called the sphere tool. Click sphere, and I go in here. I can zoom in, and there wouldn't be a need for anything above, so you can sort of eliminate that a little bit. So I'll just basically the sphere, if you look here, it will curve around the surface when you paint. So I'll start with the bottom here, and I'm using the I don't want to use overhangs only, so I'll just do it like this. I'm starting on the first one there. And since it's a sphere, it will paint the edge around. So I'll just make sure that the first one here is handled properly. Don't worry about the edge there, I'll fix that afterwards. I'll show you how. Some blocking supports there. Okay, so I'll go down a little bit again. And you can see now that there are some unevenness here because of the sphere tool. So I go in again, zoom in, and I'll start to highlight until I see the first. There. Now you can see that is selected. And then I click on overhangs, and I go back to circle, and I'm just repainting that first line. Okay, so that one is pretty good. Now I'll go back to the sphere. I'll increase the size of this a little bit just to save time. Then I want to remove on overhangs only. And basically what I am doing now. You're using the sphere tool to just go everywhere. And I'm blocking. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm blocking supports here now. The sphere tool will go into every crevices that exist and prevent any kind of supports. Okay. Now notice you don't need to worry about supports on the I don't want that. Like on the above the top here, you don't have to really worry about supports. But make sure you don't paint over the edge now, because like here, because then it will also affect the top part. You can always fix that with a fill afterwards, but I will make a check. So you're sometimes wondering what is the point with the sphere tool, and this is a good example of a good use of it. There, because those edges are actually not negative, they will not be put any supports there. Okay, so I'll just move down from that one. I'll reduce this. We can check if we have any problems elsewhere. No. Okay, that's looking good. Then We can do the top one. Here I don't really want any supports. But I'll use the sphere tool anyway. Let's see. How big is that? I'll just do it for the whole thing. You have to remember this one is actually upside down. So I'll go to the back so I get a perfect aligned view. I'll bring down the pen size a little bit. You can see these areas here would normally try to actually, because this is on top, it doesn't really matter. You can just eliminate. Doesn't matter if it smears into the top surface because you're not gonna have supports there anyway. So you don't have to be as thorough. There. Just for the page. So there you have it. Now when I bring it down, that's how you see everything in pink is blocking supports. I'm just gonna check that we don't have a problem here. That one is up. And that one is okay. And what I'm just gonna reduce the size and I'm gonna at least until the edge is gone here. Yeah, doesn't really matter if you go over either. You can just repaint the one with the tool. See, I know I'm going over, but it's not a problem. I'll show you. There, now there are no spaces left. Okay, so we'll just go up one on overhangs only fill, and I just redo that one, and there. That's it. So I'm gonna save that. That was a lot of work. Now when I slice it, there should be no threads anywhere. Thanks for watching.